Everybody, it's Scott. Just thought I'd say hi for you today. I wanted to share a video about something that has come across for me, and I want to thank Patricia Corey first for explaining this in her book, Atlantis Rising. So, if you're not familiar with Patricia Corey's work, I really suggest you pick up a book of hers. It is Patricia Corey, C-O-R-I. I want to explain this idea that there is a parallel reality that is just waiting for you right now, and that there's a story that is for you, that is you right now, that is just waiting for you to discover. So I want to talk a little bit about too, just like transformations and journeys with relation to that. You know, I don't want to get into a whole story again and just relive it, but you know, whenever somebody comes through a transformation, whether that be weight loss or you know, something emotional in their life or something spiritual, it's almost as if we kind of jump into a new reality. And I do want to suggest that that is kind of what we do when we go through these transformations. For me, right now, I feel as if I am younger. I feel as if my body's changed, my mind has changed, my of course my reality changed, my location changed too when I went through some of the things I went through. And I want to just give you that possibility. Let's think about the forces that be right now in our society. I apologize for not looking right at you, and the camera doesn't really show very well when I look at my face, just to make sure I'm talking to the camera. Let's talk about who profits and who wins when you don't change. Think about all the things that we have in our society that set us up for this kind of stagnation. I'll call it stagnation. So all of the things in our society that we have in front of us keep us focused on one space. They keep us focused on the camera of the news. They keep us focused on specific issues of the day. They keep us focused on what they say about age, what they say about consumerism, what they say we should buy, what they say we should or shouldn't do. And is it any wonder that sometimes these changes and transformations can be so scary for any of us to undertake? So, because we have been so trained to not shine a light outside the gaze of the camera or of the prevailing societal view or the prevailing, we'll just call it a system, the prevailing overarching system of their view. Is it any wonder that a lot of times, even when I come on here and talk about these like ideas of radical change and ideas of transformation, or even something as simple as weight loss, as simple as like health, is it any wonder why people are so fearful of change? Is because everything that we see in our view of our reality has like told us that we have to stick to that one view. Whether you agree with him or not, with this whole idea of like Trump being such a lightning rod of such spirited discussion, or you know, people's frustration. Imagine the masterminding of how much cortisol is being retained by people's bodies because of this idea of Trump, of their massive vitriol, perhaps, of Trump or the political space that he embodies. And think of like what that means. That means that your medical profession is going to thrive. You create cortisol and inflammation in your body because you cannot do anything else. Think of what that means for a medical establishment. Think of what that means for consumer establishment, when we have to feed ourselves food, when we are you know, just needing that release because we have so much stress. Think of who wins. and think of, how that reinforces your fear to not change. If we decided to meditate for an hour instead of watch the news, what could that actually do for us? If we decided to meditate or read or disconnect from technology instead of, being victims of the camera, of the television, of media, of what they are kind of like focusing on us, what could we achieve? What could be possible in that sphere? So I want you to, and also think about economies. Sometimes as people are so fearful of maybe like following someone else's plan. Well, that worked for them, that can't work for me. Or they're just trying to sell me something, or they're I just can't trust them because maybe I'll have to spend a little money on that. And as an entrepreneur, I get that all the time. It's this whole idea of how much will this cost me, and which is fine, and people have choices with how they spend their money. But let's talk about this. If we turned our gaze, and I kind of view now service and this economy of service and love very differently. So I will actually spend the extra money for a better supplement that takes me out of this reality of we go to Walmart, we go to the grocery store and buy like this high fructose stuff that has no meaning to us, that only creates the already rich and powerful more of their own power base. But they've trained us so much, and it's such a genius for them to like train us to say, we trained you so much, you even dislike us, but you can't escape us. The moment that a friend or a colleague or another person comes by and says, hi, I'm here to bring about some change for you. Maybe I have a product or a service or something like that, like a service that they've kind of like undertaken. Let's just say a service or an entrepreneur. We are so trained by this establishment that we won't even reach out to someone we even love or care about to extend that economy to them because it feels like they want something from me. So it's so genius. Let's talk about the powers that be and what they want from us. They want our total adherence to their product for life, sold in stores that we have to spend gasoline to get to, sold by people making less money than what they should, that we cannot identify with, that we are separated from. It's genius, really. And the moment someone like me comes in to disrupt the paradigm, people scatter and run. And I think that's what I want to get across right now, is that when you want to transform and you want to change, there is an alternate reality, a parallel reality right here, right now, just waiting for you to jump right in, to leave behind those parts of this culture that created the sickness in all of us and the sickness in the world. I believe it's all connected. I mean, they keep people fat, they keep us pre-diabetic, they keep us hooked on addictive food, addictive substances, and it all feeds into each other. And so the moment we attempt to defy that, or somebody like me attempts to kind of come about to shine a light somewhere else, that dares to say, maybe you shouldn't pay attention to President Trump right now, or maybe you should at least say, I dare you to say he is a member of humanity and you should love him just like the rest of humanity. So when somebody like me comes around to say something like that, that threatens that whole base that is already there, controlling you covertly, and you don't even know it. And you don't even know why. You're lashing out at a friend. You're lashing out at a loved one. You don't even know why. It's just so natural. And it's something that is so ingrained in our society and our culture. and there's a parallel world just waiting for you to step into, and a story about you that is just waiting for you to uncover and read. So much love to everybody out there. Love you all.